Institute 3 has been around 7 years. Prior to its existence, the school was IS 149, which had a long history in the area. 149 was considered the most dangerous school, middle school in the city. This was a school that was in chaos. When I spoke to a custodian about the school, his answer to me was, "You want to know how bad it is? 180 windows out of 190 windows were broken this year." So that's the kind of situation that we were walking into.
When it was junior high school 149, it was chaos. For the most part, academics was not being challenged at all.
I've always been an activist. I was an activist in college, at Cornell. I've never been a person who likes the status quo. So we wanted to create a school that was attractive to kids in the neighborhood, that provided choice. I came under the conditions that I was going to create a school. And I wanted to create in this neighborhood. That was because the need was so great. Our themes are finance, technology, and those were done deliberately. I have a background in gang research, and so I wanted to, and when I was interviewing gang members, that's what they were into. How to learn about money and use the latest technology. And guess what? Our kids also, how to learn about money and use the latest technology. So that's what the school has found out. We're a zone school, so that means that any kid who lives in the area has a chance to come to our school. The school lives 70% Latino, 30% African American. So 90% of the students are Title I, and that means that those students get free lunch. We have special needs students in our school, both self-contained and set students, and actually we just added a collaborative or inclusion class. And we have our general ed students, and we serve also students who want to be in Regents classes. So it runs the gamut across the school. We've come a long way with test scores. So 10% of kids were on level in ELA and 10% were on level in math. We have 65% on level in English language arts. So it's very interesting that we're becoming known for our arts program, because that was never really the idea of the school, and that really was a paradigm shift. That you can have a finance and technology school and still have a high quality arts program within that environment. Our kids come to the table with different needs, and we need ways of attracting them to keep them engaged in order for us to deliver instruction. When we got the opportunity to get time to reflect and plan through our SASE grant, I mean, that really allowed us to take a deep breath and say, are we doing the right things for our kids? And we realized that we've always had an arts program. Since day one, we've had an arts program. It just wasn't a coherent arts program. It wasn't a sequential arts program. It wasn't a high quality arts program. So we had an arts program to meet state mandates, but it didn't meet the needs of the kids. Another big piece of that grant was getting a director, but it made us realize from reflection that a director was necessary in order to do this vision. That's where we hired Rose Greco. Rose was a literacy coach at our school, and it really needed someone to advocate for the arts.
I think that going from 10% to 60+% of our kids meeting standards has to do with the arts in our school. The arts is literacy. Literacy is listening and communicating and speaking and writing and reading. And all those skills that go into that and doing that well is involved in every arts discipline I know. The fact that the kids are thinking about their own stories when they're creating a project or dancing, or they're linking to a Kanye West song, that's all literacy. Through the SASE grant, we went through this 4-day workshop where we just did the work of like analyzing really good teaching and talking about collaboration. And I worked with the teaching artists to think about like what are the big things that we want to bring to the kids in terms of the arts. And it wasn't so much where in the past I think it was about a product. We wanted them to just have a really great endpoint and product and celebration. This time it was like we plan our other work, which is what matters, what cultural relevance is this going to have for our kids.
I can see that it's making a big difference. You know, basically what we're doing is we're sitting down and I'll give them a couple of minutes to talk to each other about certain words that we've learned for the day. And then each goes around and talks about the word.
I want you guys to take about 2 minutes to turn to the person next to you, whoever you want to, talk about what terms, what words you learned today.
Intro is how you begin, how you started the whole dance off.
For the 6th and 7th grade, they will have 12-week sessions once a week of dance, theater, and visual art. The 8th grade will have theater, 12-week sessions. And everyone has the opportunity to do after school in music and vocal and with guitar. I feel like the biggest change from the first year and a half to like what's happening now is that we started to treat the arts program like we treat all the other departments that matter in our school. If something matters for our kids and we value it, we put a lot of planning and time and experience in that area for the adults first. And then we make sure that it's done well for the kids, and adults are held accountable for the work that we say we value.
So they value the artist and the artistry, and they respect that, but they really want to have it work within a classroom environment. And I think this school in particular really is very supportive of the artist, of the teaching. How do they make us better facilitators? So I've experienced nothing but tremendous support and encouragement, which is really wonderful. I mean, for any of us, right, to just believe that we can do what we're here to do, and then do it well, because we have support and a system for that.
Why did we do this activity? Why was it important for us to make eye contact and say our partner's name? This is going to help us not be so shy anymore, right? So that's one really smart, interesting thing I said, because we're thinking about how are we going to get to be better actors, right? So we need to work on not being so shy anymore.
When she picked me in my desk, I talked, because sometimes when in math class or ELA, I don't really participate a lot because I'm shy. When Miss Yvette picked me, then I felt a little less shy because I feel more confident.
There are kids who are the quiet kids who sort of exploded with the arts, who begin to have a voice. Those have been avenues to get kids to the table that normally weren't at the table. The interesting part is, it's not a lot of money, but the money was necessary, and it came with strings attached that forced us to start reflecting and thinking about our arts program. So that became the shift, where we said, okay, we really do need a plan. We really do need everybody buying into this. We really do need advocates for the art. And so it forced me and it forced us to think about ways of using money in a coherent way, with a sequential purpose to build kids' skills.
There's a definite plan. There's a definite vision here, specifically, what they want. What do they want in 5 years? So now we're taking the steps to get to that point.
I want our kids to be activists. I want our kids to be independent. If art is a way to make them think reflectively, it's to make them to have discourse, it's to make them bring tools to the table and understand the tools that they have and how to manipulate those tools, then we've done our job. That, to me, is when we are successful as a school.